What's up guys, the Strong Moist 19 here, and this is going to be my latest update video for the end of this month, which is September. Before I start, I would like to apologize that I have accidentally messed up my usual schedule of doing a live stream once every 2 months. I promise you guys that I will decide for myself to resume my choice of doing live streams at some point. But I didn't expect it to be completely incorrect until I just had to check each upload from the live streams that I have previously done for the channel, and I thought that I was correct when I wasn't. Anyways, this is the update from the albums that I have decided to purchase from my previous holiday with the family. I went to Skegness, so I decided to pick up these random choices of albums both on CD and on vinyl. I am looking forward to see what you guys think of these purchases. Let's get started with the CDs first. So the first one is from a band that I really like very much. Another really popular one from the 90s in the rock scene, and that is Suede. This is the album Coming Up. I do have this on remastered vinyl, but I believe that this is an actual CD pressing of this. And I think this is a really strong record. For some reason, there's a slip for Music Magpie, who I have previously ranted about from my really weak copy of Strapping Young Lads The New Black. That pissed me off. But Suede are one of my favourite bands, not only from the 90s, but through the discovery, through listening to the music that I really enjoy so much. I did listen to their new album that came out in the recent period of the discography, and it was excellent. I do have some of their stuff on vinyl. I have, as I said, Coming Up, but I have the first album and Dogman Star. Those other two are remastered vinyls. Excellent release. The next one is from a band that I have always respected, but I've been meaning to check this band out. This band is Garbage. With this second album, version 2.0, I was really surprised that I enjoy this band quite a lot already after the first two listens. I know that their first album is known as the masterpiece more than this one, but I know that there are some Garbage fans who do love this album. I thought that Garbage are going to be one of those other alternative rock style bands, but they can be pretty different. It's kind of like alternative dancey type of flavour, but since they are a band from the 90s, I am really deciding for myself to check out more of this band's music, and let me know what you guys think of this band, because there are some friends of mine who are fans of Garbage. The next CD is from another really popular musician, and as much as that I do admire the popular Jackson member for his success and classic albums, this is an album from Janet Jackson, self-titled, and Janet Jackson's one of those musicians that I really wanted to look into for a long while now. Some of her albums, like Control, are on my wish list, but this is a very different album to what I would want to anticipate. This is pretty much a record that's all about, being open, all around the sex behaviors and the fantasizing, and it is really, in my opinion, a very open-minded and determined record to express yourself. I didn't expect this album to be that brilliant, and besides that, this album is pretty long, over 70 minutes, but some of her vocals are outstanding, and some of the catchiest R&B pop style hits are on this album from her career, as well as some of the other well acclaimed stuff. I was really pleased in the end that I did buy this, because Janet Jackson's one of those other artists that I wanted to get into. The next album, this is from a musician who I really, really got to admire. I do have previous few albums from her on CD, and I do believe that her masterpiece album Enya turned 25. Well, this is an album from Enya entitled Dark Sky Island. I haven't played this one yet, but since that I really like Enya very, very much, I have been growing to love the uniqueness of her style of music. This is from 2015, so a much later release. The next one is from bands that I am really familiar with, and I wanted to check out this album. The band is Travis, and the album is called The Invisible Band. These guys are known for music around, I think, the post-Britpop alternative rock scenes. I can't really comment on this album because I haven't played it, but I know some fans will see this as a masterpiece. If there are any fans of Travis, is this your favourite, or do you recommend another album from them? Great find. Now, this band I really want to play because I'm surprised this is a band that's been not as, popular, but they've been really consistent through the 90s, and they've supported some really popular rock bands, and the band is called Dodgy. This is an album called 3-Piece Suite. Again, I don't have anything else to say on this point, but Dodgy are a band that I would like to share my support for and maybe become a fan. Hence, that's why I've bought the album on CD. Onto the records. Random pile, just like with the CDs. As you can see, I'm wearing a Fleetwood Mac t-shirt. They're a band that I've been revisiting recently. I picked up this album, Mirage, the follow-up to Tusk. This is very underappreciated, and in my opinion, a really, really good album. Through the later period where they have become mega stars, and I believe this is an original pressing as well. The lyrics are on the other side. Warner Brothers Records, not as strong as obviously with Tusk and the self-titled album, the Buckingham Nicks self-titled Fleetwood Mac album. I really like a lot of Tusk as well, but don't miss out on this album. It's pretty much like the same type of stuff, but there's beautiful melodies on this one, both from Christine McVie and Stevie Nicks, and some of Lindsay's stuff on this is brilliant stuff as well. So yeah, I think this is a very underrated album. The next two I am so pleased to pick up because, again, this is a band that I have mentioned previously, and this is a band named Electric Light Orchestra. Really happy to have a New World record, which is my favourite ELO album. Just song after song after song, this is just timeless. and I love the other tracks that they've done previously and after through popular releases from the band. I almost picked up Discovery. I really do love a lot of that album as well. But there's Tightrope to Telephone Line and Living Thing to Shangri-La. It's a masterpiece. Love, love, love this record. I believe this is also an original pressing. I'm looking forward to put this one on because it's one of those records that really still stands the test of time. Jet Records with the gorgeous ELO logo on the other side. I am still going to pick up Out of the Blue, not just because of Mr. Blue Sky, but there's Turn to Stone on there, Birmingham Blues, Sweet Talking Woman, etc. But this album is my favourite. And the next one is Face the Music. This is one ELO album which has been growing on me. I really liked it a lot. But the more I think about this record and play it, I almost love the entire thing. Down Hometown, though, is my least favourite on here. But there's the phenomenal instrumental of Fire on High. Then there's Evil Woman, big hit. Same goes with Strange Magic, which I adore. Knight Rider, Poker. Why isn't that one a single? Because that's one of the strongest songs on here. The little downside is, yeah. But anyways, it's not all bad. I've played this all the way through. Not a lot of problems whatsoever. And again, through the Jet Records label. Also, in my opinion, if you don't like Electric Light Orchestra, you do not know how original the beautiful symphonic and legendary pop music can really be. If you don't like ELO, you're wrong. I hate to say it like that, but the thing is, how can you not love ELO? The next album for my Neil Young collection, This Note's for You, with the Blue Notes. This is a really, pretty much an ignored record, but this is one of my favourites. If you think about the music of The Commitments, but in through this bluesy setting, pretty much like this. And this is obviously the previous album that came out before Freedom, following after what he did previously through records like Landing on Water and Old Ways. Previous records like those. But this one is still a really, really good, fun, and highly, repetitive sounding in many places, but still, you know, really energetic, jumpy, and catchy record. The next record, this is another one for my Deep Purple collection of albums, Deep Purple in Rock. I do have not a lot of this band's records on vinyl yet, and I believe this is one of the early pressings or an original through the legendary Harvest label. And this pressing does not have Black Knight, but it does have Speed King to Child in Time. And, you know, the band were ferocious on this album. I love a lot of Deep Purple, and Made in Japan is one of my top 3 live albums of all time. My favourite being Live at Leeds by The Who, which I've listened to last night, and it's just majestic. But Deep Purple are one of my favourite bands, and I would like to collect more. Christopher Cross, self-titled album. This is the record that has Ride Like the Wind, which I love that song. This one is through the Warner Brothers label from 1979. I haven't listened to this one yet. Lyrics on both sides. I mean, it's decent. It's decent condition. I really hope this one is okay and worth playing. Because if not, obviously, I'll have to find another copy. But I love that look of the Warner Brothers label. It's really weird sometimes that you think that records are in great shape when you're in a store or at a record fair and you inspect them, thinking that it's all good to go. But sometimes through the experience, it's like it's not working out, to disappointment later on. But fingers crossed for me when I play this. But nonetheless, I would like to go into Christopher Cross's stuff. And he's an underrated guitarist. Jean-Michel Jarre, Equinox. I have this album on CD. The legendary French electronic ambient composer. And obviously we know Oxygen, which is a really strong album. And this label is really nice. So here it is. So pleased to collect some more records for the electronic ambient keyboard synthesizer stuff. Music like this is what I really do love, as much as the other different styles of music that inspires me. And just like with Tangerine Dream, I think alongside with Brian Eno, Jean-Michel Jarre is one of my favourites and one that you should discover. And the last one, this is I think a replacement to replace my previous copy, the Moody Blues, On the Threshold of a Dream, which is one of my favourite Moody Blues albums. I do love this band. The booklet that's inside this still intact, wonderful shape, wonderful condition, and the record is the mono pressing on the legendary record label, the Deram record label. The Moody Blues are one of these bands that has absolutely been, for me, some of my most favourite bands in the growing birth of progressive rock. But not only progressive rock, but with acoustic folky melodies to psychedelia flavours. And they are one of my favourites in the Birmingham music scene as well. As a proud Brummie that I am, who loves Electric Light Orchestra, to some of the Move, Napalm Death. The Moody Blues are one of my top 10 bands in the Birmingham music scene. And the last thing that has just arrived earlier today, since Saw 10 is out in the cinemas, I've decided to purchase the Saw franchise on Blu-ray. Billy the Puppet, I love Billy the Puppet very much. All of these films, except Jigsaw, the other films that are on this are the Extreme Edition versions. Saw 10 is, by the way, for those who would want to check it out, I know the franchise is all over the place for many people. I'm very surprised, by the way, that it was highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes. But the thing I really want to say is Saw 10 is it's made as a prequel to Saw 2, and it's the actual follow-up to the first Saw film. And as this franchise has been, in my opinion, like a really jumbled up franchise, like the Halloween franchise, for example, I am looking forward to dive into the Saw franchise and have some memories and nostalgia. I haven't watched all of these films. I have watched some when I was getting into horror and the franchise on some films that are on this. But yeah, the Saw franchise to the collection, minus the previous film that was made before the new Saw film, Spiral, I believe is what it's called. I'll have to collect that separately to get the connection with the rest of the franchise. But yeah, that is that. The Saw Legacy Edition on Blu-ray. And there you have it, guys. That is my update video for the end of this month, September. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.